Hello, this is Wmpyr. For today's lesson, it's going to be kind of interesting because I'm going to start off with a chair, okay, just so you guys can actually do this at home. And then after I show you guys what to do with the chair, I'm going to demonstrate on Stickman so that you can see a little bit more kind of like what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and start. This is a simple chair, folding chair that I have in front of me. And what I have here is just some cloth material on top to protect the chair, because I'm going to be also using the Lapu Lapu Corto drone, which is an excellent training knife. And I don't want to damage the chair or make too much of a loud clanging noise, so I recommend just get a towel and just drape it over, and that should work fine. Okay, so the first movement right here is what we're going to do is we're going to imagine that the chair is the opponent, and the first move is I'm going to parry here. I'm going to parry this way. You see how I move my body out like this, and I'm parrying right here. Okay, and then I'm going to cut, and then I come back. All right, so one more time. 1 and 2, come back. 1 and 2, come back. 1, 2, come back. 1, 2, come back. 1, 2, come back, 1, 2, and come back, right? So the next one is we are parrying, technically coming from the outside, like so. And now the other way is to go the other direction, come from the inside, okay? So in that case, I'm going to go this way. You see, it's coming this way, and then I can cut. Come back, I'm going to go 1 and 2. Back to here, 1 and 2. One more time, 1 and 2. Come back, 1 and 2. Now the idea here is for real world everyday training. Every time you pass anything in your home or inside a building, it could be a person, it could be furniture, a table, a chair, even a wall. And as you do that, you can pass this way, as I did, or you could pass this way, coming like so, okay? So you're going this way, or you're going this way. So those are the two passes that you can do, and as you do that, of course, the counter strikes can come in. But let me go ahead and go to Stickman so that you kind of get a more clear view of what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we are with Mr. Stickman, and we're going to do pretty much the same thing that we just did right now. And my hand is going to come underneath first, and then I'm going to parry this way. Okay, so this was parrying from the outside. I see I'm on the outside of the arm right here, and then I'm going to cut right on the shoulder. Okay, so one more time. I'm just bringing my hand underneath first, bring it over, and then I'm going to cut the shoulder. Okay, 1 and 2. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Sometimes it slips off. So right here, I have a nice grip, being able to practice my 4-finger grip, thumbless, and then I can cut right here. But sometimes, as you guys saw, it slips off. And when it does, you gotta switch to using your forearm instead. So this gives me good practice for that kind of thing, because that does happen. All right, so once again, slide it under. Coming from here, and then I get the cut right there. Now, this is normally done with an actual human being, with an actual partner, and you're just going back and forth, back and forth. I'm feeding a strike, and they're going to defend against that, and they're feeding me a strike, and I'm going to parry, and then I'm going to give them back the strike, and they're going to parry it exactly the same way, and they give me the strike, I parry it, and boom, and we just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, okay? Now, that exercise can get criticized a lot because people say, well, that's not very realistic looking. I don't think it's going to be this easy, boom, 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 it's not just going to be like that. And it's not, it probably won't. In real life, it's not going to be that easy. So you could take steps to make it more and more realistic. So number one is, as I do this, I'm already angling out right here. Okay, and I could already cut the arm at this point, and then as I come right here, I can try to cut the hand. Okay, and notice my body positioning is different. I'm not just standing here going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, you know? And notice his arm is touching me. So if he had a blade, I'm getting cut up if he had a blade on this hand, right? So as you see, boom, right here, as I'm doing this, I'm being careful of where his hand is. Boom, I cut and I cut, you see, and I hollow out right here. So I'm making more realistic movements. So, you know, it takes steps, it takes experience. You don't just jump into full contact, you know, from the beginning. That's, to me, not a very smart or good way to train. But this way you could go nice and slow and work on steps and steps to make it more realistic. So one more time, right here, boom, and cut. Boom, and I'm cutting on the shoulder. This is, once again, the modular system from Professor Bram Frank to do a biomechanical shutdown. Another one that I was taught long ago was to go for the nerve cluster right here, okay? In modern Arnis, this was one of the targets right here, to go for right there into the nerve cluster. So you could switch it up. You could go boom, slash, boom, nerve cluster. Boom, slash, boom, stab, right? So the nerve cluster stab right there. So you could switch up the technique like so. The second one is, instead of coming from the outside, right here, outside parry, like so, I'm going to go ahead and do the reverse, right? So I'm going to come from the inside. So it's a matter of doing this versus this, okay? So this versus this. This is coming from the inside like so. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my arm from here, and I'm going to go like so. You see that? And do the same thing. I'm cutting right on the shoulder, right? On the deltoid. So this hand again comes from inside, slash. Inside, slash. I could do it just to get the movement down. I could just go boom, boom, boom. So this is just me just trying to memorize the technique. Boom. Once again, it's not very realistic, so we start making it more realistic. So right here, boom, I could already cut the hand. I'm making sure, in case he has a knife or something, watch out, cut. Maintain contact right here, because I don't know what, you know, he might try to tackle or whatever. So boom, I can catch, and I can get arm control right away if necessary. Okay, I don't expect to immediately be able to catch like this. It's probably going to be difficult, a lot more difficult in real life. So in this case, try to maintain contact. If necessary, I can catch, because this is how people try to catch things that is like a mosquito or a fly that's super fast and zipping around. We catch like this. No one catches like that, okay? No one just goes bam and catches it like that, right? Unless you're super confident in your speed. So, boom, this is normal. And then, once again, we could go into more complex techniques that way. Boom, boom, like so. So anyway, back to coming from the inside. So I'm going to go boom, like this. I'm clearing. I can make my cut right there. And then cut the shoulder. Once again, boom, go into nerve cluster. Boom, shoulder. Boom, nerve cluster. So anyway, I hope it's a little bit more clear when I use Stickman, but please don't forget to chair practice. Thank you for watching, and take care, folks.